Once upon a time, in a cozy little house, lived a kind woman who longed for a child more than anything in the world. "Oh, how I wish for a little baby," she would sigh, gazing out her window. Her wish was so heartfelt that it reached a benevolent fairy. The fairy appeared before her, holding a single, shimmering barleycorn seed. "Plant this seed," the fairy said with a gentle smile, "and you will have your wish." The woman thanked the fairy and carefully planted the magical seed in a flower pot. Almost immediately, a beautiful large flower began to grow, its petals tightly closed like a tulip. The woman leaned in and kissed the petals, and, as if by magic, the flower bloomed open with a soft pop. There, sitting in the very center, was a tiny, exquisite girl. She was no bigger than the woman's thumb. "Oh, you are so small," the woman exclaimed with joy. "I will call you Thumbelina." Thumbelina was given a polished walnut shell for a cradle, violet petals for her mattress, and a rose petal for a blanket. During the day, she would play on a table where the woman had placed a plate of water. She would float from one side to the other in a tulip petal boat, using two white horsehairs for oars. Her life was sweet and filled with song. But one night, as Thumbelina slept soundly in her walnut shell cradle, a dark shadow fell over her. An old, ugly toad hopped in through an open window pane. "My son will marry this girl," the toad croaked, looking at the beautiful little creature. "She will make a perfect wife for my clumsy son," and, without a second thought, the toad snatched up the cradle with Thumbelina inside and hopped away into the dark, damp garden. When Thumbelina awoke, she was horrified. She was on a lily pad in the middle of a wide river, and the ugly toad was introducing her to its even uglier son. "No, I want to go home," she cried, tears streaming down her tiny face. The toads just croaked and prepared a new home for her in the muddy riverbank. But Thumbelina's cries were heard by some small, kind-hearted fish swimming nearby. They felt sorry for the little girl. "You are free now," they chirped, and working together, they nibbled through the stalk of the lily pad. The lily pad broke free and drifted away down the river, carrying Thumbelina far from the dreadful toads. She floated past beautiful landscapes, and little birds in the bushes sang to her as she passed. Days turned into weeks, and summer turned into autumn. The vibrant colors of the world faded, and a cold wind began to blow. Then winter came, blanketing the world in snow and ice. Poor Thumbelina was all alone, cold and hungry. She had only a dead leaf for a blanket, and she shivered constantly. "Oh, I miss the sun and the warm flowers," she whispered sadly, her little body trembling. One freezing day, while searching for shelter, she stumbled upon a small frozen swallow lying in the snow. Its wings were stiff, and it looked like it wouldn't survive the night. Thumbelina's heart was filled with pity. Despite being cold herself, she gathered pieces of soft moss and hay and gently covered the bird, trying to warm it up. She stayed by its side, sharing what little warmth she had. Her kindness worked a miracle. The swallow slowly revived. "Thank you, little one. You saved my life," it chirped weakly. As the days passed, Thumbelina cared for the swallow, and they became dear friends. When spring finally arrived, melting the snow and bringing life back to the world, the swallow was strong enough to fly again. "I must leave now," the swallow said, "but I will not forget you. Come with me. I will take you to a land where it is always warm." Thumbelina happily agreed. She climbed onto the swallow's back, and they soared high into the sky, over mountains and seas. They flew until they reached a beautiful, warm land filled with the most magnificent, fragrant flowers. The swallow gently set her down on the petal of a large white blossom, and there, in the heart of the flower, stood a handsome little man, just her size, with a golden crown on his head and delicate wings on his back. He was the prince of the flowers. He was mesmerized by Thumbelina's beauty. "Will you stay with me and be my queen?" the flower prince asked, his voice full of warmth and admiration. Thumbelina looked around at the sunny, joyful land and at the kind prince before her. A happy tear rolled down her cheek. "Yes, I am so happy here," she replied with a radiant smile. And so Thumbelina received her own pair of shimmering wings. She was no longer a lonely, wandering girl, but a queen among the flowers. She flew from blossom to blossom with her prince, and they lived happily ever after, surrounded by eternal sunshine and endless song. Thank you for listening to this wonderful story. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe for more tales.